Good afternoon. From the geological point of view, the project located in the Del Deseado Massif, in red we have marked some mines like Cerro Vanguardia, Manantial Espejo, Mina Marta, Mina San Jose, and the advanced project of Cerro Negro that are all located in the El Deseado Massif. In black, we show some properties of our company. The main property is Cerro Moro. This view graph shows a distribution of mining properties of Ex-Torre. The main property of Cerro Moro is here, 17,000 hectares. In blue, we have shown the properties with regional character, in which we have developed different works, and they are at different stages. In black, towards the south of the main property of Cerro Moro, we have Fonicruz property. Our company has signed an agreement with them, and Gonzalo mentioned it already at the beginning. Just a little bit of background regarding the discovery of Cerro Moro project. MinCorp, a company that was working in the area of El Deseado Massif since the year 96 up to the year 2000 approx. Starting from satellite images, or working with satellite images, we recognized 30 targets in the El Deseado Massif, where Cerro Moro was also included. At the same time, a field recognition and a drilling program, a drilling campaign done by MinCorp in approximately 2,500 meters with 37 wells in the different veins. The veins are 80% of the veins located in Cerro Moro. MinCorp target was to find this kind of mineralization, these white veins that are easily visible in the surface with some mineralization but not high grade. Starting in December 2003, Ex-Torre company takes a Cerro Moro project and validates the data generated by MinCorp. With those data, produced a drilling program, but this drilling program was focused to that kind of vein, white veins, easily visible veins, visible from the surface, and no good result was found with it. And after that, textures were reinterpreted, resampling with multi-element resampling of the sampling obtained by MinCorp and new samples, and a high degree mineralization was discovered. That's not easy to see from the surface, and that is for the mineralization of the Cabla prospect that we see on top, or Escondida vein that is only seen in some floats in the surface. Starting from that, we created a drilling program where we got excellent results with intervals of 2 meters, with 43 grams of gold and 2.3 kilos of silver in case of this vein. And in Escondida, the same way, with intersections of 2.6 meters, 45 grams of gold and 3 kilograms of silver in a larger package. Starting from that moment, an intensive drilling campaign was started. El Condida structure was drilled in more than 3 kilometers, and a scouting campaign is done, discovering new mineralized structures, and some known structures are extended. This image shows a view to the southeast of Escondida. Escondida far west, and this shoot is absolutely covered by by a sequence of sediments, tertiary sedimentary sequence, and it has approximately 50% of the resources of Escondida. There are not many outcrops, you can see it, but we could find what helped us finding the mineralization of Escondida was geophysics by telemetry. And well, this is a simplified map of Cerro Moro project geology. In pink are porphyry intrusive rhyolitic domes and dikes that intrude to the sequence of Varia Laura group. In yellow, we have the volcanic sequence of Chonaike, interpreted as an elevated block in contact with the flat block of La Matilde formation. The main mineralization of Cerro Moro is developed in contact with, or in a zone of contact within these two formations. There is a good structural control, as you can see, good structural control of mineralization from the center of the project towards the west. The structures all have a northeast orientation and a northwest orientation. As I told you before, we have used different geophysic methods within Cerro Moro project, but the one that gave us better result was magnetometry. There is a great match between the magnetic features and the mineralized structures. This is Escondida, Esperanza, Natalia, and Gabriela. We have a team that does the terrestrial magnetometry, and they are processed later on by a consultant company. This is a typical section of the Escondida Far West nail. This sector, we can see the elevated block of Chonaike volcanic sequence that has acid imbrites on top, going to andesitic lava that in some sectors existed and not in others, and then with a greater sequence of imbrites, rhyodiacitic imbrites, with a greater degree or less degree of welding. In the lower block, we have what we interpret as the sequence of La Matilde, that is, there's some rhyolitic dikes and intermediate to basic. In the contact zone, there is also a hydrothermal breccia, a rhyolitic hydrothermal breccia pre-mineral, and the mineralization is developed in the contact zone. This mineralization in the higher part has an oxide zone developed as a stockwork. Mineralization is mainly as veinlets of quartz associated to adularia in parts, and this kind of mineralization has grades that go from 3 to 5 grams of gold equivalent per ton. Below the 40 meters, we found a pulse of black silica with base metal sulfides and precious metals, quite rich. This is the main mineralization zone, the main mineralization zone of Escondida. Going towards the deep, the grade dilutes as a consequence of a third pulse of chalcedonic quartz associated to fluorite. The grades in the richer zone in this section, 58.9 grams per ton of gold equivalent, 63.8 per ton of gold equivalent. Up to now, we have conducted 143,000 meters of drilling. 70% is diamond drilling, and 65% of this drilling are in the Escondida vein. And the depth, average depth, the drilling goes from 100 to 200 meters, 450 meters. We have more than 30 veins that have been drilled. This is an aerial view of Escondida zone. Not much relief. You can see there the ore shoots, the far west ore shoot, the west, the central, east, far east, and the new ore shoot below the 150 meters that is called Martina. And that was published just 2 weeks ago. The length, well, here we see the different ore shoots or mineralization shoots, and the length is 3.5 kilometers, and the red color shows values of 10 to 50 grams per meter of a gold equivalent, and the purple values show more than 50 grams per meter of gold equivalent. And the resources in Cerro Moro up to February 2010, the resources indicated with a cutoff of 1 gram per ton of gold equivalent is 612,000 ounces with an average grade of 32.3. Indicated resources are just for Escondida prospect. As inferred resources that have been obtained starting from the drilling other targets, they add 390,000 ounces with 6.1 grams of gold equivalent average. So we have a resource of 1 million ounces approximately gold equivalent. Metallurgical tests in Cerro Moro are quite positive, with a recovery of 95% of gold and 90% of silver. Given the combination of processes, gravitation, flash rotation, and tailing leaching and concentrate, the main ore, the main minerals or main concentration of Cerro Moro are pyrite, chalcopyrite, galena, white fullerite, and silver associated to ecantite, and gold associated to electrum or native gold. Image shows a conceptual plan of mine development up to June 2010. The plan is to have a processing of 750 tons a day with a production of 100,000 ounces of gold equivalent a year. That is 60,000 ounces of gold equivalent, and 2.4, 60,000 ounces and 24 million of ounces of silver. The mining of this mine will be underground combined with open pit. It will start in Escondida Far West, where the labor will be only underground, and simultaneously they'll start working in open pit, where they have the ore shoot of Escondida Central, East and West. The plant was planned 2.5 kilometers south of the main mineralization zone, and it contemplates a combined process of flash rotation with the tailings and concentrates leaching through the Merrill Crown circuit for the gold recovery. And final product will be doré gold. The plans include also a 132 kV high voltage line.